The screech of tires still echoed in my skull, a jagged memory of the moment I yanked the old man from the crosswalk, his frail body trembling against mine as the truck roared past, inches from us both. My heart pounded, not from heroics, but from the sickening realization that life could end in a blink. That was yesterday. Today my ex-wife Lila stood at my door, her eyes wide with something I couldn't name, gratitude, maybe, or something sharper, more dangerous. "I heard what you did," she said, voice soft but unsteady, like she was stepping on thin ice. "Can I come in?" I hadn't seen her in 2 years, not since the divorce papers sliced our marriage into irreparable halves. Her auburn hair was shorter now, framing her face in a way that made her look both familiar and foreign. The apartment smelled of stale coffee and regret, the air thick with the weight of her presence. I stepped aside, letting her in, my gut twisting with a mix of longing and dread. Why was she here? The news about the old man had spread. Local hero, they called me, but Lila wasn't one for sentimentality. She wanted something. She sat on the edge of my couch, fingers twisting the strap of her purse. "You saved his life, Ben," she said, her gaze flicking to mine then away. "That man, he's important to me." Her words landed like a punch, vague but heavy. Important how? My mind raced, conjuring images of her with someone else, someone older, someone I didn't know. I pushed the thought down, telling myself it was paranoia. The old wounds of our marriage festering again. "Who is he?" I asked, my voice tighter than I meant it to be. The room felt smaller, the walls closing in with the hum of the refrigerator in the background. A low drone that matched the unease in my chest. Lila hesitated, her lips parting then closing, like she was weighing what to confess. "His name's Arthur," she said finally. "He's a friend. A mentor, really. He helped me through some dark times after we—" She stopped, her eyes darting to the floor. "After we split," she meant. The words hung unspoken, sharp as broken glass. I nodded, swallowing the bitterness rising in my throat. A mentor? Sure. But the way her voice cracked, the way her hands trembled just slightly, there was more. I wanted to believe her, wanted to think this was just her being grateful, but the old doubts crept in, the ones that had poisoned our marriage. Lila had always been good at half-truths, at saying just enough to keep me guessing. "Glad he's okay," I said, forcing a neutral tone. "But why are you here? You could have called." My eyes searched hers, looking for the Lila I'd loved, the one who'd promised forever before everything unraveled. She looked away, and that small gesture felt like a betrayal all over again. "I needed to see you," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "To thank you in person. And to talk." Her fingers tightened on the purse strap, knuckles whitening. The air grew heavier, charged with something unsaid. I leaned against the kitchen counter, the cold edge biting into my palms, grounding me against the storm brewing inside. "Talk about what?" I pressed, my pulse quickening. The memory of our last fight flashed, her tears, my accusations, the way she'd walked out without looking back. I'd spent months replaying it, wondering if I'd been too quick to suspect, too slow to trust. Now her presence felt like a test I wasn't sure I could pass. She stood, pacing to the window, her silhouette framed against the gray city skyline. "Arthur's not just a friend," she admitted, her voice shaking. He was my therapist, Ben. After we split, I was a mess. He helped me piece myself back together." Her words were raw, but they didn't soothe the ache in my chest. A therapist? Not a lover, then. But why did it feel like she was still hiding something? I crossed my arms, trying to keep my voice steady. "So you're here because I saved your therapist's life? That's it." The question came out harsher than I intended, and she flinched, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. "No," she said, turning to face me. "I'm here because saving him made me realize how much I've lost. How much we lost." Her voice broke, and for a moment, I saw the Lila I'd fallen for, vulnerable, open, her heart laid bare. But then I remembered the late nights, the unanswered texts, the way she'd grown distant before the end. The doubts clawed at me, relentless. "What are you saying, Lila?" My voice was low, almost a growl. "You walk out, you don't look back for 2 years, and now you're here because I pulled some guy out of the street? What do you want from me?" She stepped closer, her scent, lavender and something sharper, like regret, filling the space between us. I don't know, she whispered. I saw your name in the news, and it hit me. I never stopped loving you, Ben. Even when I messed it all up. Her words were a knife, twisting in my chest. Love. She dared to say it now, after everything. I wanted to believe her, wanted to fall into the comfort of her words. But the red flags were there, subtle but glaring. The way she'd hesitated over Arthur's name. The way her eyes avoided mine when she spoke of him. My mind spun, piecing together fragments. Her late-night appointments. The way she'd always had an excuse. Had she been lying then? Was she lying now? Messed it up how? I asked, my voice cold, each word deliberate. The room felt like it was tilting, the walls pressing in as the truth loomed closer, inevitable. She swallowed hard, her hands shaking now. I wasn't honest with you, she said, her voice barely audible. Not about Arthur. Not about a lot of things. My heart stopped, then thudded painfully. The confession was coming, slow and agonizing, like a wound reopening. What things? I demanded, stepping closer, my breath ragged. The apartment was suffocating now, the air thick with the weight of her words. Arthur wasn't just my therapist, she said, tears spilling down her cheeks. We got too close. It wasn't planned, Ben. It just happened. I was broken and he was there, and she choked on a sob, but I barely heard it over the roar in my ears. You slept with him. I said, not a question but a statement, the truth slamming into me like that truck yesterday. My hands clenched, nails digging into my palms. The betrayal wasn't new, not really. I'd suspected, I'd feared, but hearing it, knowing it, was a fresh kind of hell. It wasn't like that, she cried, reaching for me, but I stepped back, the space between us a chasm now. It was a mistake, Ben. I ended it. I swear I ended it. When? I spat, my voice shaking with rage and heartbreak. Before or after you left me? Before or after you let me think I was the one who broke us? She crumpled, sinking onto the couch, her face buried in her hands. After, she whispered. I didn't know how to tell you. I didn't want to hurt you more. I laughed, a bitter, hollow sound. Hurt me more. As if that were possible. The room spun, the memory of the old man's grateful eyes replaced by Lila's tear-streaked face. I'd saved Arthur's life. And in doing so, I'd unearthed the truth that shattered mine. The irony was cruel, poetic. I'd pulled a man from death only to face my own kind of annihilation. Why now? I asked, my voice raw, barely holding together. Why tell me now? Because you deserve to know, she said, looking up, her eyes pleading. And because I can't keep running from it. I thought I could move on, but seeing you in the news, it brought it all back. I still love you, Ben. I know I don't deserve you, but I had to try. Her words hung there, a lifeline I couldn't reach for. Love. Trust. They were ashes now, scattered by her confession. I turned away, staring out the window at the city's gray haze, my chest tight with the weight of it all. I'd saved a life yesterday, but today, I couldn't save what was left of us. Get out, I said quietly, my voice steady despite the storm inside. She sobbed, a broken sound, but I didn't turn back. The door clicked shut behind her, and the silence that followed was louder than any scream.